Sergeant Arm, you can start. Dr. Veena, you can start the meeting.
Can I start?
Yes, please. 7:30.
Good evening, all distinguished Toastmasters and fellow distinguished guests. Welcome to our first ever meeting of Distinguished Toastmasters Club. To this illustrious meeting, I welcome you all. We have some rules. Please keep your mobiles on silent mode. Please keep cameras on, and let us all enjoy the journey of this meeting. So now I welcome Master of Ceremonies, our very own Amitabh Bachchan, not only in KCT clubs, but our Bahrain, who always stands tall, who is motivator, who is a great communicationist. I welcome Dtm Rattindernath to carry over the meeting. Back to you.
Thank you, Madam Sergeant at Arms, for filling me up with power and enthusiasm. Greetings, everyone.
Greetings. Good evening.
Greetings.
Good evening.
Are you ready to go
Yes.
Yes.
from distinguished to Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yes.
Only 2 or 3, not all. What's wrong?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Are the division dignitaries in? District dignitaries? Not yet.
Our CG,
Okay.
CGD is in. Our CGD is in.
Okay. Anyway, I'll do the formalities. Honorable District 20 Director Dtm Mohammad Salim, Honorable Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Alifia Lakdawala, Honorable Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid.
We can't hear. Is that
Can't
only
hear you.
me?
You're muted.
No, no.
Dtm, bro.
No, can't hear.
You're
Okay.
muted.
Okay. Honorable dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and fellow leaders, a warm welcome to all of you for the first Distinguished Toastmasters meeting. Let's get started. I think first of all, let's adopt the agenda. I can adopt, or will the President do it?
The President does it.
Okay, President, for a start, can you pass a resolution to adopt the agenda? I think there's only one change, that is the reason. Mr. President, unmute please.
With one change that we have combined our R counter and grammarian. With that, the agenda, if somebody can propose, is in order. We can proceed with that.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I,
Distinguished Toastmaster,
will second that.
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster. Thank you. Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley started this mammoth movement in 1924. He could see the future because now, nearly, you can say, 100 years since the organization started, we have nearly 4 million Toastmasters who have been trained in the art of public speaking. At present, there are 4 million people worldwide who have benefited from Toastmasters. It is one of the greatest investment one can make. And I urge you all to spread the message and request everyone to join Toastmasters. Before we start, on behalf of Distinguished Toastmasters Club and guest, let's wish a beautiful young lady, Distinguished Toastmaster Rosalind Roy Charlie, a very happy birthday. Can we all say happy birthday, Rosalind?
Happy birthday.
To you. Happy birthday. Happy
I think
birthday.
we should sing. We should sing.
Yes.
Do we have a singer here?
Yes, we can sing.
We
know
are
that-
distinguished Toastmaster. We all can.
Happy birthday,
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Birthday
you, dear Rosalind.
Happy birthday to you.
Wow.
Cut the cake.
Thank
Blow the
you all.
candles.
Thank you
Blow
all.
the candles. How many candles do you have, Rosaline?
16.
Great. 2 years to join the club.
Okay. Now, it's time to proceed from Distinguished Club to Hall of Fame. How can we go? Most of us have no answer. When I inquired with many of the Distinguished Toastmasters, they were quite blank. In fact, few of them said they are ready to retire. I don't know why. In fact, yes, Distinguished Toastmaster DTM is a greatest achievement, but is that a final destination? Enough? No more achievement? No more problems? Yes, we are scared of problems. Okay, let me give you the first key to go from Distinguished to Hall of Fame. Begin to love problems. You've heard of Norman Vincent Peale. Have you?
Yes.
Yes.
The writer of Positive Thinking. Once he was conducting a seminar in which he asked, how many of you have problems in life? Can I ask you all, how many of you have problems in life? Well, at that seminar, everyone raised their hands. Some even raised 2 hands because they had multiple problems.
Multiple problems.
DTM
He
Khalid
then said,
DTM Khalid Jalal asking my hands also.
he then said, okay, you know what? On the way to this venue, just a kilometer away, I saw a place where there are no problems. People are relaxed, peaceful, and happily sleeping. Do you want to know where the place is? Again, everyone raised their hands. Some 2, some even their legs, because everyone wants a peaceful and relaxed life. Okay, like how he asked, can I ask you, do you want to know the place? How many of you want to know the place? Why, you're scared? Only 1, 2. All the others are scared. He said, yes, it's a graveyard. All hands went down, some deep down their pockets as if they had no hands. Said, yes, in the graveyard, there are no problems. People are sleeping peacefully, relaxed, and very happy. Now tell me, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, how many of you want to have problems? That's nice. I can see all hands raised. Because without problems, there is no life. Yes, everywhere in life, you should be ready to face and love problems. I'm happy that I have convinced you to love problems. Fellow Toastmasters, today I will not be introducing any dignitary because we have achieved the ultimate goal of Distinguished Toastmaster, DTM. What else? We have big titles on our chest, shoulders, head, name it. Let's look into the future. I will ask every assignee, every director, every delegate, every dignitary, where he is or she is at the moment and where they would like to be, how they visualize. Because I want to know, I want to learn from you how I too can reach the Hall of Fame. Okay, I'll give you my example. If I have to introduce myself, I would say, fellow Toastmasters, till now, I think I can convince an audience of 500 people. I visualize myself convincing and connecting with 50,000 people. And within 2 years, I aim to do that. With your help, achieve the World Championship of Public Speaking Trophy and connect with you all. That was an example for you, how you will give your introduction, personal, professional, anything. Some may say, I want to get married, not once, 5 times. Yes, that is a personal achievement. Right now, I'm not married, but I would like to marry 5 times. Are you ready now?
Yes.
That's nice. Now let's go to the second part. Is our District 20 director in? Not yet?
Yes.
Yes,
He's here, he's here.
He's in.
Okay, welcome District 20 director. So our distinguished dignitaries are waiting to motivate us with some awesome address. Our first dignitary is the numero uno of District 20. I am sure all of you are aware of this personality. But as I said earlier, I will not tell anything about this gentleman. Let's hear from him what he has to say. May I invite distinguished Toastmaster Mohammed Salim to tell us where he is at present and how does he visualize his future. DTM Mohammed Salim.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Rufus Pinto, for not introducing me. So that was the agreement between us actually, that he wouldn't be introducing me, rather I would be introducing myself. Now I am Mohammed Salim DTM, Toastmasters in 2002, served as Club Growth Director, PQD, and currently serving as District Director. These are the very few lines I give as introduction, because for me, I haven't achieved anything. According to me, I haven't achieved anything actually. There's more to come. I always feel that there is always something better in the future I wanted to achieve, and I've been striving for that actually. So one thing what I did when I couldn't become a champion like what Rufus was aspiring to become, I became a coach. So this is where my destiny changes every time. So if I don't reach to a level, I just switch over to another level. That is what happens with me. Now talking about joining this club is that there should be a purpose, because if we don't have a purpose of being a distinguished Toastmasters club, I don't see a purpose of continuing this club in future, because we have seen many advanced club coming in but not serving the purpose. So what is the purpose of this club? That was the first question I asked DTM Ali Jalal when he told me that we are going to start an advanced club. I asked what is the purpose of it actually. We have professionals in various fields here. Yesterday I was discussing with some of the leaders that how well we can reach out to members of non-Toastmasters during this pandemic situation in grooming them, grooming in such a manner that they also are feeling confident when they have issues with the job. So one thing is, why don't we create an webinar or a Zoom meeting on how to write a resume, on or how to handle question and answer sessions during a job interview, or how to be confident in a situation, or be patient in situations like what I learned from Dtm Rufus is that Mafi Sabur Sida Ru Kabar. That is what Rufus used to say. So this is what we need to really have the patience during this pandemic situation. Many of them do panic, but we need to really empower our members. I'm very happy to see Dr. Babu Ramachandran. He has been serving the community. We have Dtm Rosalind Roy, who has been serving the community. All these like-minded people can extend their roles, not just being a regular meeting. We need to do a meeting with a purpose. Let's all continue doing it. So thank you very much for having me here. Over to you, Dtm Rufus.
Oh, you inspired us all by telling us have a purpose. Let's give our distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Salim, our numero uno of the District 20, the District 20 Director, a big round of applause. Now, it's time to hand over the charter certificates. We have 20 plus members who are eagerly waiting to receive something which they deserve. May I invite distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Salim to hand over the certificate virtually. I will announce the names and it will be in the alphabetical order. Wait, I have the names with me. Okay, fellow Toastmasters, are you ready?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Amanda Janice Rabot.
Rabu.
Toastmaster Aziza Al Husseini Nasser. Toastmaster Babu Ramchandran. Toastmaster Hisham Jifri. Toastmaster Jaber Sakar Al Roe. Toastmaster Khalid Rashid Mohammad Jalal. Toastmaster Khurram Salman. Toastmaster Muhammad M. Salim. Toastmaster Muhammad Sini Shuraik. Toastmaster Faraz Kayat. Toastmaster Muhammad Jahangir Khan. Toastmaster Mona Abdullah Al-Laqab. Toastmaster Muhammad Ahmad Asif. Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaram. Toastmaster Najib Razak. Toastmaster Nazir Mohammad Palikandi. Toastmaster Rattindernath. Toastmaster Rosalind Roy Charlie. Toastmaster Roshan Lewis. Toastmaster Rufus Pinto. Toastmaster Thomas P. Thomas. And the last member, Toastmaster Veena Nagaraj. fellow distinguished Toastmaster, let's give ourselves a huge round of applause. Congratulations, everyone. You are a proud member of Distinguished Toastmasters Club. Congratulations on this proud and great achievements. As our District 20 Director said, find your purpose. Yes, that is my second key to Hall of Fame. Most of us are stuck at how and jump without understanding the why. We find out how we should get married, how we should get a job, how we can go to the next destination, how we can fly, how we can achieve DTM. But we rarely go deep to find why. How many of you, before getting married, asked, why should I get married? Or before having children, why should I have children? Why should I get a job? Why should I fly? Why should I die? No one. That is the key. If you find your purpose and know the why, the destination becomes different. And surely you will enjoy the ride. Find your purpose. Next, we have 4 other dignitaries waiting to give the address. Our next dignitary is a lovely lady. Yes, she is the Program Quality Director of District 20. She is beautiful and very versatile, but I will not disclose. Because as I said, I will not introduce anyone. May I invite our Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Alifia Lakdawala, to tell us where she is right now and where she visualizes herself in a few years' time, or maybe in a few months' time. Calling on Distinguished Toastmaster, Alifia. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Distinguished Toastmaster Rufus Pinto. Let me acknowledge the presence of our District Director, Dtm Muhammad Salim, our Club Go Director, Dtm Khalid Abdullah, and the various members, starting with Division C Director, Dtm Khalid Abdullah, the various members, Area 2 Director is in the house, Toastmaster Roshan. I hope I do not forget anybody. Recognizing past District Director, Dtm Khurram Salman is in the house. Valuable members of this club, Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters Club. Wow, wow, wow. Good evening, everybody. Well, as you all know, you all must have seen, some of them must have seen the photographs coming in the District XCOM group that the trio is attending 3 meetings simultaneously. So y'all can imagine that how we have moved forward in this virtual reality where we have broken all barriers, and I'm sitting in Kuwait, but yet enjoying a meeting in Bahrain. So those points aside, but coming back to the theme, well, when the Toastmaster of the Day, when he messaged me and he asked me that he's not going to take my introduction, but instead ask me what and where do I see myself in few years' time, well, I would say I would like to see a better version of me in the next few years. When I was an area director, I thought it was only about my area and my clubs. But when I became a division director, I had to embrace everybody and work with them. this place where in Toastmasters is the blessed place because you meet so many different type of people. And leadership is one thing which gives you the capacity to deal with different sort of people. So taking this forward, I would like to serve members in whatever best capacity I have over the years, be a better version of what I am today, because the best competition is me, myself, in terms of my humility, in terms of my humbleness, in terms of my words. So this is what I see myself. Now, coming back to this club, Distinguished Toastmasters Club of Bahrain, well, I have a lot of hope from this club in terms of quality, because every member of this club is an accomplished Toastmaster and he or she knows what they are doing. So keep up the quality. Please be the role model of District 20 so members look up to y'all. Not only for meeting roles, but for other roles like a coach, a mentor, a pathway guide, a pathway manager, or any sort of role, whatever y'all take. So my best wishes to this vibrant club, which is getting chartered today, or the officers are getting installed today. So best wishes to everyone and hope to visit more meetings of your club. Back to you, DTM Rufus.
That was a beautiful program quality director, distinguished Toastmaster Alifia. She deserves a thunderous applause. Our third dignitary is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah, the young and handsome guy. His words still ring in my ears because it was, I think, probably 4 times he told me to pin the timer. Today, I'm not going to tell you to pin the timer because I know you'll be on time. But may I call on our distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah to tell us where he is right now and where he visualizes himself in the future. Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid, floor is yours.
Wow, thank you so much, Dtm Rufus, the Master of Ceremonies. Where am I right now? I'm serving. Where I do see myself in the future, I'll continue serving. This is what I have in mind currently, regardless of whichever hat I wear. Let me recognize the presence
Thank you. Now,
of our... Should I go ahead?
Yes, yes.
Please, thank you. Let me recognize the presence of our District Director, DTM Hamad Salim, our Program Quality Director, DTM Alifia Lakdawala, Division C Director, Khalid Jalal, and not Khalid Abdullah. Other dignitaries, if I just go and call each and every one, I think I will not finish my address and you will be bored with what I'll say. So, good evening to one and all. It gives me a great pleasure to be called whatever to be called CGD, to be called the installer officer for this club. And wow, what an amazing start Division C is having this term. By chartering that wonderful club and to be still the only club in Bahrain that has been chartered this term. So please give yourself all round of applause. That's exactly what I also asked, the same question that I asked the Division C director, same as DTM Salim. Why do we have another advanced Toastmaster club in Bahrain? And the answer I got from Division C director was, watch what an advanced Toastmaster club that I'm going to charter. And there we are, Bahrain Distinguished Toastmaster Club. I'm really proud to be here, to be the installer officer. What is happening all around the district? The first 3 months, we've been focusing on retention. And trust me, Division C director I've been nagging on his head every day. Not only him, all of the ExCom, every day. And for those who are as well subscribed in Bahrain, Toastmaster group, they know that I've been celebrating each and every member that we have in our district. And that's what the focus was. The focus was on retention. Coming 3 months, the focus would turn into extension. Yes, we have really hard time, tough time retention. We would definitely not leave retention, especially assigning coaches. We would definitely start on assigning coaches for struggling clubs, but extension is what we need to do. And if I challenge Division C, and I can see Division Director is already ready for the challenge, but not Division C alone. I'm challenging all of the DTMs here to get another 20 clubs. Challenge accepted? I can see DTM Mona nodding her head. I'll wait. DTM Jawber nodding his head. Okay, some are not sure.
Mr. Respected CGD, you tell us quality or quantity?
Both. Both.
Quality.
Both. If I look at this club, honestly speaking, if I look at this club and all of the brilliant members all around, we can just try. We can have just one lead from each member. Is that difficult? Just one lead. I'm not calling for more. And I know DTM Mona would even more do this, even not only once, she would do it even more than once. I know she can spare you one of her clubs. Right, DTM Mona?
Yes, I will be there. Don't worry, DTM Khalid. And regarding quality and quantity, I say these are always coming together. If we don't have quantity, we will not have quality. So we have to have members so that we can get quality meetings.
Well said. Let me say this in Arabic as well. هاي الكلام اللي برد الخاطر. Thank you so much.
Can you translate this sentence in English?
Definitely not. That's why I said it in Arabic. So this is what we are focusing on. I always tell the other Toastmasters, they come to me and say, well, Khalid, we are really not sure whether we really need to continue in virtual meetings. And I would call myself the top of the list. I honestly tired. I'm in 3 meetings in parallel right now. Imagine it. Yes, it is really draining lots of our energy. And for those who are not even managing to continue, but let's remind ourselves about the vision of why are we here. I heard our Master of Ceremonies, Dtm Rofus, just said it. The purpose. The purpose is and will definitely be to be a proud Toastmaster during such pandemic area. I think for those who would come later on will remember us, will remember those leaders who took this on their shoulders, who were proud to practice their leadership and communication skill and pass this difficult situation, regardless of whatever we are getting out of it. We're not getting much, we are just leader by nature. And that's why DTMs or DTM Bahrain DTM Toastmaster Club is really high ranked in my vision, and I see it as a potential for helping all of other members in the district this term. So let's always keep on the vision. Let's keep on the vision. We are here to become better leaders and communicators. And when you call on those members who did not renew from other clubs, don't call them for renewals. Call to ask about them. Let's remember that we are focusing on members and not just the numbers. Remind them that we are Toastmasters and will definitely stay as Toastmasters. This pandemic is hard, difficult, but this pandemic will not stay here for long. The pandemic came here to teach us a lesson. Are we learning? Over to you, Master.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah. It deserves a huge round of applause. Now, a fourth dignitary, a very own Division C director. He's ready to go. This club is his baby. He's a namesake of a previous speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Jalal. Can you tell us where you are right now and Where do you foresee yourself few months or few years' time? Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid, floor is yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony, Distinguished Toastmaster Rufus Pinto. Where I am and where I want to be. Where I am, I'm just at the start. I've not even started walking, I'm still scrolling. They say there is success behind every man, there is a woman. And I totally accept, but with a small twist in it. For me, the success behind me is male and females. The reason, I'll tell you right now. I've been telling this to Benny, and I want to mention it once again. When I joined GAMCO as the head of IT, I was improving myself as a technical person, only in IT. But when I met the two gentlemen, Distinguished Toastmaster Husni Amin and Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaram, they didn't tell me they're Toastmasters. One day, we are having casual talk, and I asked Toastmaster Naga, what will you do when you retire? I think initially he was trying to ignore me. Maybe he was thinking I'm there to take away his job. That's why I'm asking. But when we build up a little more friendship, I asked him the same question again. And he said, I want to be a public speaker. And I told him, that's what I wanted to hear from you. Since I heard that you are a Toastmaster, that's why you should be. And I didn't know they were using that formula on me. Jointly, they worked together with our HR and they formed GAMCO Toastmaster Club. And they invited me to be a guest in the club. And the first thing Toastmaster Nagendra did is call me on a stage and ask me a table topic question. That's how my Toastmaster journey started. Second thing he did, he started counting all my hours and he forced me to hate my way of speaking and made me again join Toastmaster. There I joined Toastmaster as a member. And then they forced me to take up the higher role. They didn't take it, I don't know what was the reason. I think that's the quality of leaders. They didn't take that role, though they were expert and very senior in Toastmasters. They wanted to develop me in Toastmasters. And this is what they did. They've been developing me throughout and every day since I was sitting with them. Half of my time was spent in talking about Toastmasters, which I still do, by the way. Then coming specific to this particular club, we are having a cup of coffee with Distinguished Toastmaster Hisham Jifri, Toastmaster Roshan Lewis, and of course a slight background to it with the immediate past Division C director. That was also in a coffee meeting where we were talking about some new clubs. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a club at that time for a situation, but this time, second coffee really worked because I didn't pay for it this time. Sorry, I paid it this time, and last time it was paid by my brother, Distinguished Toastmaster Jahangir Khan. So we worked hard, we got a lot of support, and we wanted to decide, we decided to form this club. Now it comes the female part. I got a call from Distinguished Toastmaster Mona Alakab. She said, Khalid, what is the purpose of your club? Why you want to charter this club? We had a lot of discussion, negotiation. Trust me, he made me to think, stop the club, but not with the intention to not proceed. She was guiding me what is missing. He was guiding me step by step. If you don't do this, you will be a failure. If you don't do this, you will not have the members retention in your club. These are the things which you need to do from her experience. And what Toastmaster has told me all these times, learn from everyone. And I was learning from everyone, and we reached this level. And that's what I want to continue all my life, learn from everyone, no matter who the person is. That's what I want to be. I don't want to be the public speaker of international speaker in Toastmasters, but I want to learn and learn and learn, and that will come eventually. Now, if you allow me to say something about my role, can I? We have time?
No.
No? Okay.
You have your address later on. You can add it to the.
Then I can pass the control to DTM Rufus Pinto. Back to you after ceremonies.
Thank you. Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Jalal deserves a huge round of applause. Thank you. Our fifth and final dignitary is the charming Area 2 Director. Everyone knows him. Within 2 years, he's taken Bahrain by storm. But I'll not disclose anything further. As I said earlier, let's hear it from him. Where he is right now and where he foresees himself in few months or few years' time. Toastmaster Roshan Lewis, let's hear from you. Floor is yours. Mute. Yeah, unmute.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster of the day, Dtm Rufus Pinto. Let me start with a beautiful Japanese proverb. I think many of you might have heard. This term is known as Sodako Dochi. Sodako Dochi is a beautiful process of chick coming out from egg. There are two parts in this. One is Sodako, one is Dochi. Sodako is a preparedness of a chick inside the egg. It says, I am ready, I want to come out. And the Dochi is a preparedness of mother. She understands this timing and starts cracking that egg. What is very important here is the timing. If the time goes here and there, then the life gets in danger. So the perfect timing should happen, a call from inside, a connection from outside. Why I'm telling this? Every part of our life, this Sodako Dochi happens knowingly, unknowingly. Division C Director, just you was telling, we sat for a cup of coffee. Always we do this. Whenever you want to discuss something, we go and sit for a coffee. Lot can happen over coffee. Now we were discussing what to bring in. Why? Because as area director, I was starting my area with one club loss. One of the corporate club was going to close. So how we can channelize this? And the Sodako Dochi was happening there, inside and outside call, discussion and feelings and thinking and thought process. Then we decided, why can't we bring class distinguished Toastmaster under one roof? That is the first idea clicked. Second, parallelly, we also work for Bahrain HR Professionals Club. It's already under charter. So we added 2 clubs in my area. Thank you, Division C Director. And also the first call when we sat our coffee, Dtm Isham Jifri was with us. Thank you, Dtm Isham Jifri. So thoughts come every time and it gets culminated into action. Today it's in action and we are going to be here. Now where I was, where I am here, where I want to be. 2 years before, I accidentally walked into the Karnataka Club Toastmaster. The building, I went to click the photos whom I trained, one of my nephew who is want to address in YLP. I trained him for the speech and I went to click his photo. I was very new to this country. Then the KCT came and influenced me. I went to first meeting. That is the first time in my entire career I attended Toastmaster Club meeting. Then the history. So where I was, unknown to Toastmasters. Today, I am PTM. I am not a DTM. I am a PTM. I am a passionate Toastmaster. So where you want to be? The question, I want to become double PTM, double passionate Toastmaster. So always people ask me, why you don't give speeches? I say, I'm not into, as Division C Director was telling, we are not into speech. We want to develop ourselves as a leadership skills, train others, and get benefit ourselves in this process. So that is what I am looking into after a few years. Finally, today, very important in the beginning, Dtm Rattindernath was asking, Toastmaster Veena, why are you very sad? I know he's most young and energetic Toastmaster. He said, why you are very serious today? That's what the essence of this club. We will not be serious. We will learn in the best enjoyment movement in this club. And we'll spread this enjoyment across the clubs in terms of talent, in terms of service, in terms of knowledge, and in terms of distinguished profile. That's a major focus from our club. Why this club? And I'll give one more beautiful example. We had called all the distinguished Toastmasters. We had a first meeting. Can you imagine how much time it took? We had to take few decisions. mission, vision, and a process of this club, and also selection and election of office bearers. Can you imagine? It just took 22 minutes. Entire process. Why? Because the quality and the commitment of all these club members have for this club. Starting from senior most, Dtm Babu Ramachandran, he was there in that meeting. In spite of, I remember he joined from the hospital. And all the members on Friday morning, we finished 22 minutes this meeting. That's what quality and the commitment this club has. And I'm happy. This club is in our area. It's area 2. This is what Dtm Khalid Abdullah was just asking me, telling us, as a leader, we are going to leave legacy and go. This club, we are going to leave it as a legacy. So over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Area 2 Director. This Toastmaster Roshan Lewis, he deserves a thunderous applause. Thank you all dignitaries. Yes, you have persuaded and motivated us and convinced, yes, Toastmasters is the best organization. But one thing, you all, I think, tried to sell Toastmasters or Toastmasters membership. To reach Hall of Fame, why don't you try selling yourself? That is one of the key. You reach the Hall of Fame, you will attract maybe thousands of members like magnet. So reach for that goal first. Ladies and gentlemen, behind every dream, there is a team. When team works, dream comes true and everything comes alive to take this DTM club to greater heights. You have few of the finest leaders on this island. They have taken the mantle on themselves to be this distinguished club Toastmasters leadership roles. And tonight, they are going to be installed by none other than the charismatic club growth director, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah. Before that, today, it is this Toastmaster's son's birthday. Am I right?
True.
So, fellow distinguished Toastmasters, let's wish his son a very happy birthday. May God bless him.
Thank you so
Distinguished
much.
Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah, convey our best wishes to your son.
Wow. Thank you so
Now,
much. Dtm Rattindernath.
yes,
Okay.
welcome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please hold for a few minutes. Stay glued to your seats. Don't switch off the camera and rush away to the kitchen to cook some of the finest dishes. Because here you will see installation ceremony of some of the best Toastmasters on this island. May I invite distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah to conduct the installation ceremony. Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Dtm Rufus. MashaAllah, you have so much of energy that I can't recognize when should I speak and when should you continue with your energy. Thank you so much, Dtm Rufus. Good evening, One Soul, DTMs.
Good evening.
This is also an honorable moment for this club. And thanks for DCD to giving me this opportunity to install the officers of this brilliant club. The legacy, I like that name that Eddie Roshan just called it, the legacy. So this is exactly what we need to have for this club. Now to help with this, I would love to do this in a little bit different way. Now before I move on, can I ask the host or whoever is moderating this, do we have photos in the presentations for the officers?
Yes.
Yes, okay, excellent. So
Toastmaster Roshan will share it.
Excellent, okay. Then may I ask all of the other who are here to switch off their camera and only keep the officer's camera on. Let's start something new. Let's try that. Let's keep only officers' cameras open. And with this, that's basically, I'm trying to mimic what goes into the physical meeting. So this is exactly what it is. The officers standing in front of you. And let's imagine they are standing from right to left, starting with the sergeant at arms, Toastmaster Veena, the treasurer, Toastmaster Nagindra, the secretary, Toastmaster Amanda, vice president of public relations, Toastmaster, shouldn't it be DTM, Roshan?
Uploading.
Okay. The vice president of membership, DTM Rosaline. The vice president of education. I could not see DTM Ahmed. Is he around?
Mr. Sijidi, he has some emergency. He has apologized for today.
Okay. Could I please know if someone who is standing for him?
I will stand.
Can we have someone other than the officers?
I suggest DTM Rufus to stand, if you're okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. So on behalf of DTM Ahmed Asif, DTM Rufus would be the standing Vice President of Education. And last but definitely not the least, our President, DTM Khalid Jalal. I am here to install the officers of Bahrain Distinguished Toastmaster Club and prepare them for the challenges that lie ahead. Their collective challenge is to make this club strong, dedicated to helping people from all walks of life, to listen with sensitivity, think creatively, and speak in an effective manner. As I briefly describe the responsibilities of each officer, I will ask him or her, in that case, not to hold just the gavel, but to switch on his or her video. So all officers, please switch off your video. And let's have the sergeant on. Toastmaster Veena, videos on. Thank you. Toastmaster Veena, the duties of the sergeant at arms are to reserve the meeting space with proper authorities, make sure that all supplies and materials are properly distributed or displayed at meetings, greet guests and members, and call the meetings to order at the scheduled time. There is no symbol of gavel, but I'll give you, imagine that you have a gavel in your hand, and that signifies the responsibility in your hand. Will you perform these duties to the best of your abilities?
Yes, I, Toastmaster Veena, will perform my duty to the best of my abilities, and I accept this role as Sergeant at Arms.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Veena. May I ask you to switch off your camera, and let's have our treasurer switching on his camera, Toastmaster Naga. Excellent. The duties of the treasurer, Toastmaster Naga, are to collect dues from the members, send the dues and membership renewals reports to Toastmaster International, and pay the club's expenses. Will you perform these duties to the best of your abilities?
I, Toastmaster Naga, will do my role as the treasurer to the best of my abilities.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nagindra. Let's imagine that you are passing the gavel to the next officer, who is the secretary. May I ask Toastmaster Nagendra to switch off his camera, and for the secretary, Toastmaster Amanda to switch on her camera. Okay, excellent. Toastmaster Amanda, the duties of the secretary are to keep an accurate record of the members, submit the officers list to Toastmaster International after the election, and keep the club charter, constitution, bylaws, and minutes. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I, Toastmaster Amanda, will perform the duties to the best of my ability.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amanda. You may virtually pass the gavel to the next officer and switch off your camera. Thank you for switching off your camera. And may I ask Vice President of Public Relations to switch on the camera. May I ask all audience to mute themselves, please, because I can hear some noise. Thank you. Toastmaster Roshan. The duties of the Vice President of Public Relations are to promote the club to the local media, spread the word about membership program, and attend Toastmasters event. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will do.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roshan. You may pass the virtual gavel and switch off your camera. May I have the Vice President of Membership, please, Dtm Rosaline, to switch on her camera. Thank you. Dtm Rosaline, as the Vice President of Membership, your duties are to conduct ongoing membership building programs, explain educational programs to prospective members, and ask them to join and follow upon new members and absent members. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I, Dtm Rosalind Roy, will perform my duties as the VP membership of this club to the best of my abilities.
Thank you so much, Dtm Rosaline. May I ask you to pass on the virtual gavel to the next officer or acting officer, Dtm Rofus. Thank you, Dtm Rofus, for switching on your camera. Dtm Rofus, as acting Vice President of Education on behalf of Dtm Ahmed Asif. The duties of the Vice President of Education are to plan successful meetings to help members achieve their educational goals, orient new members to the Toastmaster program as soon as they join, and monitor members' progress. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid, on behalf of Distinguished Toastmaster Mohammad Ahmed Asif, I am willing to accept these responsibilities.
Thank you so much, Dtm Rufus. Could you pass the virtual gavel to the President and switch off your camera?
Mr. President, gavel is yours.
Thank you. Great. So I can see the President ready for his part. Dtm Khalid Jalal, having been elected the President of Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters, you are its Chief Executive Officer and will be expected to preside all club meetings and at all regular and special meetings of the Executive Committee. It is your challenge to see this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It's also your challenge to see that your club helps the area, division, district, and Toastmasters International to meet their goals. Please accept this virtual gavel as a symbol of your leadership and dedication to the office. The gavel is a symbol of the power and authority given to you by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and with restraint. You are a member of your team and a leader. A team is more than a collection of people. It's an emotional force rooted in the feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members with common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Work with your team members to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club of which everyone will be proud. Will you, as a president, accept this challenge and perform the duties to the best of your ability?
With great honor, I accept this responsibility to be the president of Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters Club.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Jalal. It is now my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed into the offices to which they have been elected. May I ask all members of this club, and I say members, to switch on their cameras. All members, including officers, everyone except guests. Of course, I cannot switch my camera. So let's imagine right now that everyone is standing. The growth and development of the Toastmasters program in Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters depends largely on the actions of this group. On your honor as men and women of Toastmasters, will you pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club, live with it, and work with it throughout the coming year?
Yes.
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 We do.
We will.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I assume we don't have pens for the time being, but let's imagine that we have the pens of officers, and this is the least that we can do during such pandemic. I wish this club, Bahrain Distinguished Club, very successful year, and I'll turn control over the new president to say a few words as his acceptance speech. Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Club Growth Director and the Installation Officer for today, and I congratulate all the officers who are installed today. There is a famous saying or quote says, each one of us can make a difference, but if we are together, we can bring a change. Exactly a change has come in 1924 when Dr. Ralph C. Smedley wanted to make a difference in the way people communicate. And with that, he took support from his colleagues at that time, and he brought a change, and that change has changed the entire world in the form of Toastmasters, which we call Toastmaster International. Today, with great honor, and after 96 years from the initial initiative, a group of distinguished Toastmasters and Toastmasters from Bahrain, from all the divisions, all the areas, and all the clubs, without any difference, came together and initiated to form this club, which is called Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters Club, where the members are very much committed and dedicated. And as our theme says, they are ready to go from distinguished to Hall of Fame. Our vision is to be the benchmark Toastmaster club with quality, leadership, excellence, and service. And to achieve this vision, which is not that easy, by the way, our chartered members are working together to achieve the highest standard of quality by continuously improving themselves as leaders and the help of each other, and also to support the fellow Toastmasters. We want to bring out a still hidden talent in ourselves and in our fellow Toastmasters. There's a lot of potential and hidden talent still not come out. What we want to do as a club, we have a series of plans which we want to bring in. But just to summarize, we want to groom the talented candidates to achieve their dreams through the Toastmasters program. Either they want to be the best speaker, best moderator, you name it, or they want to reach to the next level where our Master of Ceremonies wants to reach, which is holding that trophy which every Toastmaster dream about. It's not only producing the talent of public speaking we are looking at. Of course, that is in our agenda. But things which we have not seen in Bahrain before, for example, the accredited speaker program, only one person has achieved it in the whole Middle East. That's something we want to focus and bring on table to all our fellow Toastmasters. I've been attending so many meetings and events, and the feedback which I get, we are lacking the parliamentary procedures. And this is the feedback we received when we conducted an event through Division C. We had a lot of feedback. We want to learn more. That's something I want to make it a challenge, that we as a club want to take the lead and make sure we do the right training, workshop, and do the implementation in the respective clubs. Let me conclude my address because of the interest of the time. I would like to thank all the chartered members of this club who actually honored me by accepting the role to join this club and work towards Toastmasters community once again to bring it to the next level after 96 years. And that's a change we want to bring in. Now I'd like to thank all our audience who are present today and supporting us in our journey, and we want to support them in their journey. And let me assure you and assure the entire world that the members of this club are committed and dedicated, and you will see them making a change in Toastmasters experience, and you will see the change soon. Thank you very much. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies, club officers.
Thank you, Mr. President, and all the dignitaries.
I haven't yet handed over the control to you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
I'm just teasing you. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you. Wow, that was a superb, well played, well acted, you can say well screenplayed installation ceremony. In fact, we would have loved the physical presence, but no doubt, whatever we do to the best of our abilities. Thank you all dignitaries, thank you installations, installation officer, Mr. President, and everyone. Now, let me congratulate each and every one of the club officers for being elected to the highest positions. A big round of applause to all the officers. Come on, wishing you all the very best. Go, go, go. We are 15 plus minutes behind schedule. I will not blame the dignitaries. Addresses are not timed. We should ensure that addresses are timed during a future meeting. No problem, we will try, but we will not go down on a quality. Now it's time to introduce my team for today's meeting. The first team member is a general evaluator. He's not a master, he's a grandmaster. But as I said earlier, no introduction. May I call on general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Jaber Al-Roy to brief his role. Distinguished Toastmaster Jaber.
Thank you, Dtm Rattindernath. Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests. and I think there is no guest tonight with us. All of us members. The purpose of my role tonight, as Dtm Muhammad Salim, he said at the beginning, find your purpose. So my purpose tonight is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything that happens and also which doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. Back to you.
Thank you. That was a handsome distinguished Toastmaster Jabbar. Well done. Now, my second team member. She's a lovely lady, young, adorable. Tonight, she's taken dual role, grammarian and counter. Before she tells us what her role is about, let's hear in 2 or 3 sentences where she is right now and where she foresees herself in the near future. Toastmaster Veena.
Thank you, Master of the Ceremonies. Learning never ends. The moment we think that we have enough of learning, that means that day we are dead. So I have still long way to go. I have miles and miles before I sleep. As AD2 Toastmaster Roshan said, I am still in a Sodaku Dochi process only. But I have vision and mission to become a good communicator as well as a leader. And I hope this will give me enough opportunities. Today I have 2 roles. Can I start my role? I have 2 roles as a grammarian as well as a counter. So you all know, for any communications, for any good communication, have good grammar. If there is no grammar, that means that you are going for a marriage without makeup. So today I'll be watching your grammar, and I have selected the word of the day. The word of the day for today is illustrious. The synonyms will be well known, respected, bright, distinguished, and admired. Some examples how it can be used in sentences. Mr. Joe has had an illustrious military. He is an illustrious speaker who is a sure bet for a word. It is pronounced as illustrious. I also will be doing a counter role. So I'll be watching all the filler words, repetitive words, ums, long gaps. So let us all please watch these words, because with reduced all these fillers, everything, we can communicate properly. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Veena. Yes, we have an illustrious gathering with illustrious speakers, illustrious evaluators, and illustrious assignees. I think you can start filling the word of the day. Now, the most important role of tonight is that of a timer. This lady is humorous, ever smiling. That's all. Let's hear from her what she has to say about where she is right now and where she would like to be. Calling on our ever smiling distinguished Toastmaster, Mona. Screen is yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony, and good evening to you all. If you always give, you will always have. Toastmaster is a platform where we have fantastic materials that build a wonderful skills. And from that point, with the great ideas and a team, dynamic team, as I can see here in all the faces, we may diverse our giving and satisfy ourselves by drawing a smile to everyone passing our life. So this is what I want. Now, regarding my role today as a timer. I will going to track all the speakers as they are delivering their speeches. And we, as the agenda says, that we have prepared a speech. So we will have two tracks of times for the prepared speech. We have 4 to 6 minutes. So I will show the red. No, I will start with the green. So I will start with the green at 4 minutes. 5 minutes will be yellow, and then the red will show at the 6 minutes, where 5 to 7 minutes will show the green, 5, 6 will be the yellow, and 7 will be the red. And table topics, speeches, unprepared speech, we will have 1 to 2 minutes. So for the prepared speech, we'll have also plus or minus grasp period. But for table topics, we'll have 1 minute will go for green, 1 minute 30 seconds will go for the yellow, and then 2 minutes will go red, and we'll have only plus 30 seconds. And in the evaluation speech, we'll have 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes will be the green, 2 minutes 30 seconds will be yellow, and 3 minutes will be red, where we have also grace time of plus or minus 30 seconds. And by this, I will hand it back to our smart MC.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mona. Now, it's showtime, folks. 3 champion speakers, all raring to go. One will add color to our life. Other will make sure that one size fits all. And the third and final speaker says, there are angels on earth without wings. So are you ready?
Yes.
Distinguished Toastmasters, come on. 3 speakers are all there to power it up. Our first speaker is dynamic distinguished Toastmaster Hisham. Tonight, he is attempting apart from visionary communication, level 1, project 1, titled Colors of Life. Distinguished Toastmaster Hisham, can you tell us where you are right now and where you foresee yourself in few months or years' time? In 2 or 3 sentences only.
Mr. T.M. Modi, good evening to you. I would like to say that I am like the passport office in the middle of the ocean in between Bahrain and Saudi. I am trying to do something to get somewhere so that one day I will become someone. That's where I am, and that's where I want to go to. More details to follow in the icebreaker below. Back to you.
Thank you. Now, may I call on distinguished Toastmaster Babu Ramchandran to read out the project purpose. Distinguished Toastmaster Babu, the screen is yours.
Thank you, illustrious distinguished Toastmaster Rufus Pinto. I suppose you can hear me now? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You want to know where I am now? Right now, as a medical practitioner, reaching out to the community. And in a few years from now, I would like to do more as community work and find my calling, which I don't know what it is at this point of time. With those words, let me read out the objectives of the project to be attempted by a very illustrious Toastmaster, Hisham. He, as was mentioned by the Toastmaster of the day, is attempting the icebreaker speech. And the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer, please note the time is 4 to 6 minutes. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, and all the best to the speaker.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting distinguished Toastmaster Isham Jeffrey with the speech title, Colors of Life.
"141 years ago, 141 years and 6 months ago, in a small town in Germany, an illustrious baby was born. That baby was not me. It was Albert Einstein. 39 years ago, 39 years and 6 months ago, in a small island, in a small town in the sunny sea of the Indian Ocean, another baby was born. That baby was me. And this is my story. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day and my illustrious fellow former beautiful babies, good evening to you. I was born on the 14th of March, 1981, in a small town called Evaluator in the island of Sri Lanka. I am the middle child of 3 brothers who went to the same school, did the same exams, and are in the same profession. And that profession is accounting and finance. In 1987, I started my primary education. Now, some schools are famous for producing scholars. Other schools are famous for producing sportsmen. My school, my illustrious school, was famous for producing street fighters. And that's because we had an illustrious track record of producing the best rugby players in the country. And as you know, rugby is a violent sport. Every schoolboy dreamt of the day that they would one day wear the illustrious double green of the elite rugby teams of school. I dreamt the same dreams. But as my love for the game of rugby grew and grew and grew, my academic marks started to fall and fall and fall. It went to such a degree that in 1996, 1 year before I was to take my high school national exams, my marks went from 23 to 10, and then it fell to 9. Albert Einstein was turning in his grave. At this point in my life, I met a tall, slim, dark-haired, dark-skinned mathematics tutor by the name of Ashraf Yusuf. Thanks to his tutoring, I managed to scrape through my high school exams. That was in 1997. In the year 2000, I managed to pass my advanced level examinations, and then I started off in higher education. The British United Kingdom gave us English. It also gave us accountancy. In 2003, I qualified as a chartered management accountant. In 2004, I met the girl who would be my future wife. I got married in 2009, and in 2010, I left to come to Bahrain. The marrying and the leaving are not related. I left the pearl of the Indian Ocean to come to the pearl of the Arabian Sea. I started working for Ernst & Young in Bahrain, and I spent 6.5 long, illustrious years with them as a manager in the Financial Accounting Advisory Services division. In 2015, I joined the Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance, and I work there today as a senior lecturer in the Accounting and Finance department. In 2014, I joined the Sri Lanka Club Symposium Toastmasters, and I have served as a Vice President of Public Relations, the Vice President of Education, and last year I served as the President of the club. But out of all these designations, my favorite one is loving father of one 4-year-old daughter. Today, I am a Sri Lankan, qualified in UK exams, working in Bahrain, studying for a Scottish MBA, and teaching US exams while running away from a Chinese virus. In these 40 years, I have learned one lesson, and I want to share that with you. Life has thrown many colors at me, and they are what make me who I am. You can choose to be the hand that wields the brush, or you can choose to bow down and be the brush that is wielded by someone else's hand. That choice is truly up to you. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Wow, let's give distinguished Toastmaster Hisham Jeffrey a huge round of applause. Our second speaker is enterprising distinguished Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaram. Tonight, he is attempting, apart from innovative planning, Level 2, Project 1, titled One Size Does It Fit All. Distinguished Toastmaster Nagendra, can you tell us where you are right now and where you visualize yourself in the near future?
Good evening, Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
I am a better version of myself a few years ago. That's what I am now. I'm a person who takes life the road as it comes. You have heard of that sound, right? Take the road as it comes. So that's what I do. I really don't know what I'm going to be in the future because I had planned a lot in 2020, but nothing could happen. So that's what I am and what I take it on a daily basis. Back to you.
Thank you. Now, may I call on distinguished Toastmaster Rattindernath to read the project purpose. Before that, can you tell us in 2 sentences where you are right now and where you wish to be? Distinguished Toastmaster Rattinder.
Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, are you sure that you want me to say that in only 2 sentences? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. First sentence.
You can add on one more. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. First sentence, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, I am a mentor and coach for my grandchildren. They are learning to speak in their school debates and presentations. Tomorrow, I would like to be joining them in the audience and listening to their speeches and feeling proud that I was in Bahrain and I was a Toastmaster. And I would like to see my grandchildren also going to be good Toastmasters and moreover, good human beings. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. I will now
Project
bring
purpose.
out the evaluation criteria for Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaraman. He is attempting innovative planning path, level 2, project 1, and the project says the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his leadership style or discuss the various leadership styles in general. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting distinguished Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaram with the speech title, One Size Does It Fit All?
Around
Screen is
18
yours.
on a cold Sunday morning, I got a call. Naga, do you know how you can achieve what you want with that kind of communication? I was dumbstruck for a minute. Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and yes, good evening. Sunday mornings was always dreadful because that was the time when we had to send our weekly reports to our manager. As soon as you send it with a sigh of relief, an email would come back with a red, bold red mark. Not acceptable. What is this? Be more specific. Any of this land in our inboxes. That day was the one where it was doubled with that call. My manager, a handsome man with peppered hair and glasses and neatly tucked in shirt, and it was always dressed well, would make me retype those communications every time. Though it was painful and demotivating at that time, I realized that it honed my communication skills. My manager had this authoritative style of leadership, and I vowed that day, I am not going to use that kind of leadership in my team members. Subsequently, it became evident that one needs to be authoritative in certain situations, particularly when it provides team members long-term direction and focus on the end goals. Even though leaders must be authoritative, it is necessary to be always supportive. During one of my lunch sessions in a restaurant at Rifa, I met Ak. Ak, a young, energetic, and soft-spoken person, was a member of my team for 8 years. He was sitting there with another gentleman. As soon as he saw me, he woke up, he stood up, and the greetings with the usual hugging happened. Oh. Don't get ideas, it was during the pre-COVID times. That day, Ak told me that he was with two of his mentors. Pointing towards me, he said, I was his technical mentor, and the other one was his bowling mentor. It was a feeling of elation for any leader would desire to hear. That day, I confirmed that I am a supportive leader, a coach, a mentor who concentrates on preparing individuals for their future by building their skills. While being supportive, it is vital for leaders to be affiliative too. During my short illustrious journey in Goldman in India, I was part of a team which was an extension of the New York team. We had to support the entire global IT infrastructure sitting in Bangalore in India. We used to follow the Sun model, and hence I had to liaise with teams from Sydney, Japan, Singapore, Chennai, London, and of course, Europe. Within a span of 6 months, with my public relations skills, all the team members across the globe knew who Naga was, and I was learning much faster than others. My manager there would come and consult me into procedures for various tasks that he had to perform, like incidents management, change management, and many more. But my appraisal at that time was a mere meet expectations. I was a bit surprised by that kind of appraisal. Reflecting upon that appraisal today, I realize that my manager those days was not at all an affiliated leader. Actually, this style is less effective when a leader has difficulty giving negative feedback and performance is not at all emphasized. While providing appraisals for my team members now, I never shy from providing them with negative feedback and always emphasize on their performance. Of course, Toastmasters has helped me a lot in that. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, there are very few items in life where one size fits all. However, there is no one style of leadership that fits on all occasions. Leadership styles need to be adapted as per situations. Though I had various styles, this project provided me with the clear insights of my leadership styles. Reflect upon those various instances from your life and understand your leadership style. Because knowing the different strengths through the different styles, it helps one to be always a charismatic leader. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Wow, what a wonderful speech. A big round of applause to our elegant speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Nagendra. Our third speaker is the most beautiful lady, Toastmaster Amanda. Tonight, she is attempting a path from dynamic leadership. Level 1, Project 2, titled The Angel Without Wings. Toastmaster Amanda, can you tell us where you are right now and where you foresee yourself in the near future? In 2 sentences only.
I would like to call myself a person who inspires people, and I'm trying my best to do it right now. But in the future, I would like to be a motivational speaker and inspire more people. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you. And now, may I call on distinguished Toastmaster Faraz Kiat to read out the project purpose. Before that, we would like to know where you are at present and where you would like to be in the near future. Distinguished Toastmaster Faraz.
Thank you very much, DTM Rufus Pinto, Master of Ceremonies. Fellow Toastmasters, a very good evening to you all. Where I am right now is that I have the honor of holding a charter certificate of my home club, SLCC Toastmasters Club, and now the illustrious Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters Club as well. Where I would like to see myself in future is to hold another certificate, an illustrious one at that, which is that of being a chartered accountant, which I am currently working on. So that is where I'd like to see myself. Moving on to the objectives of what our illustrious speaker, Toastmaster Amanda, is attempting. Her purpose is for the member to present a speech on any topic and to apply the feedback that was already given to her by her previous evaluator in the initial speech. The evaluations that the speaker has received are to work on her stage movement when delivering dialogue and to improve upon her transitions during her speech. I wish the speaker the best of luck. Time will please note that it is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Toastmaster Amanda Rabot with a speech title, The Angel Without Wings.
How many of you loved going to school. I'm sure all of you, oh, Dtm Khalid says no. What about me? What do you think about me? I am one of those people who did not like going to school. And the reason for it, Master of Ceremonies, dignitaries, distinguished Toastmasters, and guests, good evening. When I was a small child, I loved going to school. I loved the activities we did. I loved my friends. I loved being around them. I loved the fun learning. And most of all, I loved the loving and caring teachers. Time flew, and I was in grade 11 without even knowing. But it was not only time that flew, it was my happiness too. There was a big, dark cloud that came into my life. And that big, dark cloud was none other than my class teacher, Mrs. Christine. She made it a point that she was going to make my life miserable. I was an illustrious student in the school, but she hated me for no reason. I was trying to figure out, why does she hate me so much? But the reason, I couldn't find out. One day, my friend and I, we were going for band practices when I heard someone screaming my name. I got scared and I turned. I saw Miss Christine furiously waiting for me. "Where are you going?" she asked me. "I'm going for band practices, Miss Christine," I told her. "Band practices at this time? Go back to the class." "But miss, I have to practice for this upcoming event." "I don't want any excuses. Go back to the class. I'll talk to the music teacher," she said. Furiously, I turned back and I walked back to my class. But there was a day that came for me to show who was the best. I was selected to be a compere for one of the biggest events that we had in our school. And guess who my partner was? Miss Christine. I made sure that I'm going to show her that I was the best. And I practiced so hard. I compared so well. I proved myself to be the best. And after the event, the whole school started praising me. I was over the moon. I could see Miss Christine walking towards me with a slight smile, and she came and she congratulated me. I knew that she was hurting inside, and myself was doing my victory dance because I was able to prove that I was the best. But I forgot that my life being bad was going to be worse. She made a point that she was embarrassing me every day, blaming me for no reason and humiliating me in front of all my friends. One day, when I was asked to come for a prefect's meeting, she asked me, "Where are you going now?" And I told her, "I'm going for a prefect's meeting." She ridiculed me and she embarrassed me in front of all. I studied in a mixed school. Being embarrassed in front of boys was not my problem. But being embarrassed in front of girls where there were boys was the problem. She did not care about anything. She did not let me go for any meetings. And I had to stay in class and study. And she told me, I'm sure you are not going to pass your exams if you go on like this. I made up my mind that I am going to prove her wrong. I studied well and I passed with flying colors to prove her wrong. But this thing called destiny is a strange thing. The things that you hate the most, you have to embrace in your life. I never ever wanted to be a teacher. But for some reason, I ended up being a teacher. People say a teacher's job is easy. But I am telling you that 8 to 2, that 6 hours that teacher is teaching is just the time that a teacher teaches. But the 18 more hours is the time that the teacher has to sweat and prepare herself to make your children's future better. One day when I met Miss Christine, I asked her, Miss Christine, why did you do that to me? And she told me, I did that to you because I wanted you to be the best. And see, today you are the best. I'm telling you today, teachers are the angels without wings in this world. And every time I saw Miss Christine, I joined my hands and I worshipped her. Because of her, I was able to be who I am today. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you for a wonderful speech. Let's give Toastmaster Amanda a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, to reach the Hall of Fame, you just have to do 3 things every day. And that's the secret. First one, read a book for 3 minutes every day, which will enhance your skills. Second, be with 5 people who are more knowledgeable than you, more skilled than you. And finally, the third point, rise up early, wake up early before the sun rises. And believe me, you will be among the top 3% of the most influential or successful people on this planet. Now, it's time to get our acts together and move to another interesting session. That's table topic. A session loved by distinguished Toastmasters and hated by Toastmasters. Or you can say it's the other way around. Let's find out. May I call on our table topics master, this handsome gentleman, was the past division director. Yes, there is none other than Jahangir Khan. Before he proceeds with the session, may I call him to tell us where he is right now and how he visualizes his near future. Distinguished Toastmaster Jahangir.
Thank you, DTM Rufus Pinto. I have been enjoying the meeting really well, and thanks to your role-playing skill, we are really enjoying, and that's a very unique way to get the introduction. I loved it when I received your message. So where do I see myself now and where I would be in the future? I believe this is something which I have followed from the very beginning, from a very young age. I'm still a student. In the future as well, I'll be a student, learning from everyone, from life and all of you, and together, inshallah. So that's what I would say. I'm still a student and I will be a student. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this interesting session? Presenting distinguished Toastmaster Jahangir Khan to conduct this mind-boggling session. Distinguished Toastmaster Jahangir, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Dtm Rufus. Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, fellow distinguished Toastmasters, dear guests, everyone, good evening. It's a pleasure to be the table topic master for the very first meeting of our club. So today, I came across a very simple yet interesting idea. I'm really glad Dtm Rufus just mentioned that in order to be successful, in order to reach Hall of Fame, you need to read for 3 minutes. So that's very important. So what I have in my list today for the table topic session goes like this. I will be giving the speaker, like whoever I'll be choosing, or someone if they volunteer, a very unique book title. Like these books do exist. So what you have to say that you would be the author of that book, and you have to promote, you're on your promotional tour, and you have to promote that book, why we should be buying that book. So I repeat, I will be giving you the title of the book. These books do exist. Some authors have written for one reason or the other. So what you have to do is I will be calling upon you, whoever comes forward or I assign you, you have to tell us, you are on promotional tour, you have to tell us why we should be reading this book and what it is about in 1 to 2 minutes. So let's start. Can I have the privilege of sharing screen? Yes, it's been given. Thank you. So let's start. Do we have any volunteers? Do I have any volunteers? Can I see? Come on. Do we have any volunteers?
I think you're talking about books, so the best volunteer would be Hisham Jifri.
Yes, he would be. But let's see if there are any volunteers. If not, then let me start myself. Okay. I would love to hear from distinguished Toastmaster Rattindernath if he's around. One of my personal favorite teacher, let's call him. That's what I would say. Dtm Rattindernath, are you around? If not, then we'll start with Dtm Hisham Jifri. Once he's back, then we'll get back to Dtm Rattinder. For our speaker number 1 for table topic session, Dtm Hisham Jifri, I'll be sharing my screen. I'll be sharing with you the book title. This book do exist. I don't know for what reason, one reason or the other, but now you are the author of that book. Tell us why we should be buying it, what it is about. So let me share the screen. And, okay, yes. The book is titled How to Avoid Work by Hisham Jifri. How to Avoid Work by Hisham Jifri. Please tell us why we should buy this book of yours.
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, good evening to you. I stand here today in your illustrious company for one very simple reason. All of us want to go to heaven. None of us want to die. In the same way, all of us want to get a salary, but none of us want to work. I'm sure that you would agree with me. So if you would permit me just 2 minutes of your time, I will try my very best to convince you not only why you don't have to, why you shouldn't have to, and you really don't need to work. Because we work to live. We don't live to work. This book has one very simple secret, and that secret is how to make your vacation into your vocation. In other words, how to transform your passion into your profession. Because if you are able to convert what you love to do into something that you love to get paid for, then you will never really work a single day in your life. This book has tips, tricks, hacks, techniques that will help you convert what you love to do into something that you are good to do, and then something that people will run behind you to open their wallet and say, I will pay you to do this. I'm sure that you don't want to work. And I'm sure that this book will transform your life and make you into that illustrious person who always has a smile in their face because there is always money in their pocket and time in their bank account. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Hisham Jeffrey. We should definitely get that book. Next up, I would be requesting the best person for that in this entire room. Dtm Rattindernath. The next book, I'm pretty sure you would be publishing that book. So it is for you. Let me share the screen. The book is titled Can you see? Exercises for Gentlemen, 50 exercises to do with the suit on. So tell us what it is about.
Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, very good evening to you all once again. I'm not sure why I was picked for it, but it is quite ironic because I am currently suffering an injury from exercising at the gym. However, this book that I would like to tell you about is what I've written over my several years of experience of doing exercises. And what I've noticed or what I've learned is that many of us have the time to do it because we don't really work a lot at home, at work. We don't do a lot of work and we waste a lot of our time. So one of the best places for us to do our exercises is our workplace. And unfortunately, many of us work in offices where you have to be in your suits or you have to be in your formally dressed, and therefore you cannot really change into your shorts and work out in an office building. This book that I have written is perfect for you if what I was speaking about reminds you of yourself, because these are exercises that you can do with your suit on. You will not look like you are at the gym. However, you could burn those calories and at the same time spend those hours at work before you clock out. In this book, I've written at least 50 exercises, but also given in a few more tips and tricks on how to further enhance your workout experience. But why should I tell you about what is to be done when you can read the book and learn for yourself the way I did? Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, DTM, for us. Get well soon, brother. I didn't notice that up until that point you mentioned. Get well soon. The last topic I would go with, Master of the Ceremonies. I believe we are running late today, so I'll just have one last topic. Can I request Dtm Rattindernath is around? I can see the shadow. Okay. So can I have any volunteer? Our Area 2 Director, Toastmaster Roshan Lewis, are you around?
I'm here.
Perfect. So the last topic would be for you. And again, it suits you very well. This is the topic for you, the book you have published. Tell us why we should be reading your book. We share the screen. How you are like shampoo. How you are like shampoo for job seekers. DTM Toastmaster Roshan Lewis. The book title is How You Are Like Shampoo for Job Seekers. Tell us what it is. It has a catchy title, so tell us what it is about.
Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters. You might have heard the sentence, apple a day keeps doctor away. Today I want to tell you, every day one page of a book keeps your stress away. You know who who coined this statement? Anybody? I know, you'll be Googling it. Nobody, it only coined me just now. So what I'm going to tell you, wonderful book I'm going to present it to you today. Now the COVID session, soon after that, a lot of job cuts have been there. Now, how you make yourself more equipped for the next job interviews after COVID? So my dear friends, I have a book for you, which clearly talks about how you face an interview in a very, very stressful job market coming ahead. This book is very simple. Has got 25 important techniques how you present yourself during these job interviews. I have written many of my personal experiences because I have been working in HR department, so I have faced many talented job seekers and conducted a lot of interviews. So the book, when it comes with personal and very effective, proved instruments, I am sure it is going to be one of the best thing for your success in the interview. It is just like you want to grow your hair, you want to have a best shampoo, and that how you will buy and use it to grow your hair. Here, you want to grow your career, you want to grow your financial status by getting a job in this wonderful market. Here I go, presenting you a great book to give you success in job interviews. Over to your topic, Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roshan Lewis. Thank you to all the speakers, 3 speakers we had. I really wish you all the very best. Inshallah, one day we all will be having books published by all of us, and we'll be reading definitely with different titles, but inshallah in the future we will be having our books published. Thank you, and back to you, Master of the Ceremonies.
Thank you, young and handsome table topic master, for a wonderful session. You deserve a huge round of applause. Now, we have someone in our midst who has been watching everything that's been happening. This illustrious gentleman is keen to tell us what went right, what went wrong, what went left, what went up, and what went down. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Tonight, he is going to perform the role of a principal or mudir. So, are you ready?
Yes, ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, calling on distinguished Toastmaster Jabbar Roy to do the general evaluation session. Distinguished Toastmaster Jabbar, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Good evening once again, everybody.
Good evening.
May I have the timers report? Dtm Munaga, please. May I have the timers report for table topics and for the speakers? You are mute.
Mute.
Before giving the report for the timing, I just want to raise a motion to exceed our meeting since we are 3 minutes late. So the motion will go like this. Can we exceed our meeting, let's say 20 minutes more? Anybody will second it?
Yes, I second it in the interest of the time and the evaluations. I accept that we extend the time by 20 minutes. I know you have a dinner as well, but please apologies.
Yes, I'm hungry actually. Okay, now regarding the table, the prepared speech, all of them in, and even the table topics are all of them in. So nobody exceed the time. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Okay, let's go with the first evaluator. The first evaluator, who's Dr. Babu. Before I give him the chance, just let me give him or give you a short brief about Dr. Babu. Head of SAR branch of American Mission Hospital, President Indian Medical Association in Bahrain. He is a Vice Chairman Indian Community Relief Fund in Indian Embassy. He's a founder, president of WMC Toastmasters, first prize international tap speech contest in Toastmaster International. His passion, empowering people. Dr. Babu, floor is yours for the evaluation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know, I cannot see the timer.
Can't you see me?
I'm unable to see the timer to pin her.
Here.
Timer Mona, are
Yes.
you there?
I'm
I cannot
there.
see
I'm
your
here.
screen basically.
Because
Here, I don't know if something wrong with my system because I cannot see you, but that's okay. I will have my own stopwatch here. Good evening, my General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and speaker Hisham in particular. Toastmaster Hisham had a wonderful presentation with a really great title, The Colors of Life. And using the paintbrush, he painted the picture of his life. He walked us through his childhood. He walked us through the day he was born and to where he has reached right now. Using a lot of good phrases, he enlightened us on who he was, who he is, and who he is going to be in future. There was also some humor interspersed in his speech, which again was the topic of marrying and leaving. And he compared the two, saying that though he got married, he didn't leave Sri Lanka because he got married. Just a subtle humor was also there. Then he spoke about his passion. And the way he displayed those logos was amazing. Because our attention. The body movements were good. However, I would have loved to see a lot more passion when he was giving his speech. It comes from within, but there was no smile on his face most of the time, which is not the usual Hisham whom I know. He could have lowered and raised his voice at certain parts of the speech. Of course, he did it, but like phases where he was saying about the lecturer and how he is a lecturer, he could have really demonstrated his skill as a lecturer by raising his voice and addressing us as though we are all students. All in all, in the time allotted, Hisham was able to present us a bird's eye view of his life. And in the days to come, in more interaction with all of us, will reveal much more about his vibrant nature. All the best, Toastmaster Hisham. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Dr. Babu. Thank you for this wonderful evaluation. And let's go to the second evaluator. Just give me 1 minute to introduce the second evaluator. He's the Dtm Rattindernath. He's a Toastmaster from 1990 onwards. First joined Bahrain Toastmaster Club. Later was a founder member of Oasis Club in Saudi Arabia. Held all positions in the executive committee, right from sergeant at arms to president. Joined Manama Toastmaster, and since then have been member in this club. Held many positions in the executive committee, including president and area director. was founder president of the first Advanced Toastmasters Club in the region, Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, and still he's a member of this club, presently holding secretary position. Recently joined the DTM Club as a founder member. Dtm Rattindernath, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and our speaker, Toastmaster Nagendra in particular. It was a wonderful opening Toastmaster Nagendra came up with. A very intriguing one in that, and he told us the anecdote of a Sunday morning, which was a good way of getting everybody interested into his speech. And then from there, he went into the body of his speech. What impressed me very well was that he gave his speech standing up and with a very impressive background of Toastmasters background. And he moved himself from place to place, giving us a very good feeling about not being in an online speech, but it was looked as if it was a very good recording of his speech. This was very impressive. And then he went smoothly in his body of the speech from point to point. He gave us 3 points, 3 incidents of how he has identified 3 different styles of leadership. The first one was the authoritative leadership style, given an example of his boss. And then the second was the supportive leader type of leader, which his colleague, his incident put it up to him. And then the third was the affiliated type of leadership, which he recommended for all of us. And they gave an example of this affiliated type of leadership also. In all his speech, there were very good gestures, good movement throughout the speech. And in conclusion, he had a lovely message saying that adopted various forms of leadership is the only way to go. And then he tied it up with the title of his speech and said, no one style fits all, and that is the only way to go by it. Fellow Toastmasters, very well done. The only point what I would have liked was if some of the speech was inaudible to me. I guess it was when he was moving around, it was his distance from the laptop made it so that we couldn't get some portion of his speech. If he could check this out and be prepared next time, that would be a very excellent speech and excellent way of giving it. Otherwise, very good preparation, good organization, good gestures. I congratulate him for having done a good job and look forward to his next speech. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Dtm Rattindernath, for this evaluation. And we will go to the third evaluator, who's Dtm Firas Riyadh. And his brief, or let me tell you about him, about Muhammad Firas Riyadh. He's working as audit and screening officer at Sharia Review Bureau. He's interested in obstacles course racing, watching side cons, and football. He joined Toastmaster in April 2016, served as Charter Secretary, VP Education, and President. Currently, is VP Education at SLCC Toastmaster Club. Achieved his DTM in April 2020. DTM Muhammad Firas Riyadh, floor is yours.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, a very good evening to you all. Today, Toastmaster Amanda opened her speech as in a very common fashion as many speakers do, which is by asking a question. But what I really liked about the way she opened the speech is that she asked a question that relates to all of us, asked a question about school life, that way, thereby engaging all of our interest in her speech right from the start. So very well done to Toastmaster Amanda for that. What I also liked about the speech is that whenever there was need to display emotions, she came closer to the camera so that the emotions in her face and the gestures were very evident to us from this side of the screen. Displaying the emotions on a digital speech is not as easy as it would be in a regular on-stage meeting. So that, again, is a very well done move by our speaker today. One of the challenges she was given by her previous evaluator is to move on the stage or move on the screen while incorporating dialogues in the speech. Today, it was very evident in the early parts of the speech while she was being herself and portraying her teacher as well by moving from the left and right of the screen whenever she was doing dialogues. She incorporated slight humor as well by talking about being embarrassed by the teacher, not just in front of boys, but in front of boys while there were girls present. That by also giving a little bit of tickle to all of us. What I would like to see in future speeches from Toastmaster Amanda is to focus on improving the camera angle or the camera, the way you speak, because in a speech contest or in a regular physical meeting, you have a speaking area. However, on a digital speech, your speaking area is the frame. Today, a lot of the gestures were out of frame as your hands were going outside or you were keeping it with the anger around your hip, but most of it was missed because of the way the camera was put. So I would suggest that you practice your speech on camera so you can make sure what is the ideal angle for you. There was slight parts in the speech where the recommendation to apply the movement on the stage for dialogues were missed. For example, when the prefects meeting part of your story, you were standing in the middle of the screen while you had the entire dialogue. So it was slightly missed. I would focus on making sure it's always implemented in your speech. Finally, there was a very interesting plot twist in your speech, which is that you were a teacher yourself. You are a teacher yourself now. That should have been brought in a more dramatic fashion. This was another improvement or a challenge given to you by your previous evaluator. So that is something that I would like to offer to you as well as a challenge to bring in more drama, especially when you have such a powerful plot twist in your speech. Overall, a very good speech. You displayed your emotions and vocal variety very clearly, even though it was a digital speech. Focus on the camera angle by practicing a video rehearsal for your speech and to pause before a plot twist. And this could be a much better speech than it was. I wish you all the best, and I will definitely take home the message of remembering or appreciating our teachers. Back to you, DTM Jabbar.
Thank you, DTM Firas Qiyad, for this evaluation. DTM Muna Aqab, timer. Any evaluator exceed the limit? Any evaluator exceed the timing?
No, all are in. All are in.
Okay, all the 3 evaluators inside the voting.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, can I have the grammarian and counter reports, please?
Mr. General Evaluators and fellow Toastmasters, this is why we call this as Distinguished Toastmaster Club. The word of the day after the introduction, it was used many times, like DTM Rufus used 6 times, Babu Ramachandran used, DTM Hisham used 6 times, Amanda 1 time, Nagendra 1 time, Rattinder 1 time, Faraska 2 times, Roshan once, and this is a very easy word, can improve using it, but it's a very common word actually. Could have used a little bit more. Anyhow, we can still use it out of the Toastmasters also. And coming to our counter, again, the fillers some were very less. Most of the people had 1 or 2s only, like Rufus had 2, Khalid Abdullah had 2, Mona had 2, Khalid Jalal had 1, and Babu Ramchandran had twice. Faraz Kayat had thrice, Ratinder had thrice. Otherwise, the overall the meeting was very good. The grammar was of a high standard. I see any very grave grammatical mistakes, and there are quite a few good take-home messages also, like find our colors of life, angels without wings, how to avoid work. It's very much needed, I think, in our daily life, maybe, or even at home, etc. So overall, the meeting was good with very good quality of grammar. And back to you. Yeah.
Jabir, you are muted.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's go quick through the meeting, the whole meeting. We start on time. We start on 7:30 on time, which is as scheduled. As agenda, it is starting on time because 15 minutes for socialization, which is good. We didn't have any guest, all of us a member. The president officer prepared and organized also meeting, everyone properly introduced, everyone introduced in a proper way. The Toastmaster of the day also introduced everybody in a good manner. Also, the Toastmasters fill all rules prior the meeting starting, and he mentioned the change in the agenda before we start, which is very good things. What else? The grammarian and countered at the same time. She did her duty in a very good way, and she was precise. The table topics, Dtm Jahangir, he was very good questions when he chose this titles of books, and he asked about which kind of subject inside this books. This is very good questions, and also he was well prepared for this table topics. What else? The timer, Dtm Munagab. What can I do? I mean, what can I say? You did everything, very well, and you are very precise in timing. And that's all. Back to you, to the master of ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, for conducting such an interesting evaluation session. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
Fellow distinguished Toastmaster, as General Evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Jabir required, or you can say, he has to get a thunderous round of applause. Let's move ahead. I enjoyed the meeting. I hope all of you enjoyed the first meeting of Distinguished Toastmasters Club. Did you? Yes. I'm sure you will have many more such interesting meetings in the near future. I wish the President, Execom, and all our members all the very best. With this, I hand over controls back to our President. Mr. President, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies, for today. What an illustrious meeting by our illustrious members of our illustrious club. Amazing. And this is what happens when you bring the quality members together to go to the next level, which is our aim. I'd like to thank all of you who are here, especially our guest, Toastmaster Alraz and Toastmaster Manisha Rinadora, Toastmaster Alraz from ABC Toastmaster Club and Toastmaster Manisha from SLCS. Now it's time to get the feedback from the voting. Let's see how those speakers, evaluators, and table topics have gone through and who are the lucky winners of our meeting today.
Can I request everybody to please vote from the link in the chat? I have only 10 responses. We need at least 15 because we are 16 people around. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Navindra. While you're waiting for the results, may I request our guest to start with sharing your feedback. Let me start with our PQD, since she has come back from 3 other meetings. Still giving us time, she still has energy. So let's hear from her feedback.
Well, I heard the general evaluation session and the evaluations. Thank you for raising the bar, Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters Club, quality evaluations, quality feedback. Let's keep striving for the same. I couldn't hear the speeches because I was shuffling in between the meetings, but yes, from the evaluation, the club is in good hands. So keep marching. That's about it. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Now let's hear from our guest, Toastmaster Manisha.
Good evening to you all.
Good evening.
It is a great pleasure to join the first meeting of Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters Club. And I really enjoyed the speeches, evaluations. It was well experienced. All the table topic commentators to speakers to evaluators, all are very confident and there was a lot to learn. And Division C Director, this is a great initiative from your part to start such a club. Amazing job. I wish you all the best. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Manisha. Credit goes to all the members who supported the idea.
Division C Director, if I may, can I say something, please?
Please go ahead.
I would like to comment a special round of applause for our Toastmaster of the Day, Dtm Rufus, because I have been observing because my screen was on. He is standing throughout the meeting. Commendable. I mean, we all have been sitting and enjoying the meeting, but I am seeing him throughout the meeting. He performed in his role in standing. So really kudos to you, Toastmaster Rufus, for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think I could remove my the background which is given to us by our PR manager. So that will also show that I'm also standing throughout the day.
Okay, we'll give you standing ovation.
Now let's hear from our next guest, Toastmaster Alraz from ABC Toastmasters Club.
Thank you, Dtm Khalid Jalal. I hope you can hear me. I'm audible.
I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure attending this meeting, and I've been glued to the meeting since the start of the meeting. And to be honest, yeah, I know it was Dtm Rufus Pinto and Dtm Khalid Jalal. All I've been standing. In my case, I'm already on bed. That's why I'm not switching on the video. And it takes a lot of effort to keep glued to the meeting when you're already on the bed. And it has been a pleasure. Once again, I congratulate the Bahrain Distinguished Toastmaster Club for this wonderful meeting. and wish you all the best for the future meetings. Back to you, Dtm Khalid Jalal.
Thank you very much, Master Alraz, and especially thank you for being with us even in your bed. Now we are done with our guests. Can I request Toastmaster Nagendra if you have the results?
Yeah, I'm just
sharing.
Have the results. Just 2 minutes. Just a minute.
Yes, sure.
Till that time, okay.
While you are waiting for the results to be published, let me inform you that our next club paperwork is already in process, and we have already started giving them. The next club is Bahrain HR Professional Toastmasters Club, and we have already started giving them the knowledge and preparing them to be ready when the club is started. And we're trying to prepare them even to be taking part in the contest. That's a challenge. Let's see if we can achieve that challenge. Not only that, as a division, we also have a motto, Rise Up as One. And with that motto, we have supported another club, a club which we want to charter for a long time. We could not, and there's another club which was closing down. So we helped them to not close down, although we have to rename the club and take it as a new club, or sorry, continue the same club with a new name, with the new members. And that's Baloch Toastmasters Club. That's in Division B. We try to help all the divisions, whatever it takes, to all the Toastmasters. That's why we are Toastmasters. We are here to support the community, not our own club, not our own area and division. We're all Toastmasters. All of us are one unit, one family. We need to support each other at all the time.
President, we are ready with the results.
Let's announce the results.
We'll start with table topic commentator first, then we'll go to evaluator, then we'll go to speaker, then we'll go to table topic evaluator. Sorry.
Please.
We'll start with table topics. You can announce. I'll just share the screen.
Please announce. Share the screen. Can you maximize it? Yes. The best table topics goes to the best table topic commentator, distinguished Toastmaster Hisham Jifri. Congratulations, Dtm Hisham Jifri. Then best speaker, it goes from this computer back to this computer tomorrow morning. My colleague, my mentor, Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaram. Congratulations, Toastmaster Nagendra. Treats tomorrow in the office. Our next best evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Faraz Kiyat. All the best. And I'm so happy, and I cannot tell you right now because I'm recording it. Because I wanted to get this award from somebody for a very, very long time. It took me 1.5 years. I'm still struggling to get this award from somebody, and I'm still struggling. But one day, that one day will come. I will get it from somebody. And that someone is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Hisham Jifri. I'd like to congratulate all the winners. Yes, Hisham Jifri, one day, that day will come. With that, I'd like to congratulate all the winners. And with that, we adjourn our meeting.
Thank you.
Now, whoever has guests at home, just people were. Let me stop the recording first.
Done. Thank you very much. Congratulations.